Hello everyone, hope you're all doing well. Day 13 today. Yeah, feeling really good about being on day 13. I'm feeling good anyway, feel quite good today. Um, yeah, um, had some really good news. Well, my daughter's had some really good news, which is really good news for me as well. It's like my daughter and her fiance have had some really good news. I'm not at liberty to tell you what that news is, but yeah, maybe she'll give me the go ahead. I don't know, but yeah, amazing. Big sort of like a big yes, big step for her and her fiance. And I just got to check this recording. Sorry. Yeah, I think. Yeah, we're all good. Yeah, so a big step for them today. um, big big marker in their life. Big step forward for them progressing in their life, and yeah, really positive. And I'm so grateful that she's got this news. Basically, that they both got this news. They deserve it, very much so. And yeah, uh, yeah, brilliant. Excuse me. Um, yeah, so my dreams are quite twisted and thwarted still. Uh, I keep dreaming at the moment. I keep dreaming that people are spiking me with certain drugs in my dream, and it's really fucking me up. Uh, like in my dreams, everything gets all twisted. I mean, my dreams are quite twisted anyway. I think everyone's dreams have got a certain amount of twist in them, haven't they? But yeah, quite quite strange still. Um, and I'm waking up out of my dreams, feeling guilty. I'm feeling bad that I've been subjected to drugs in my dream, which is what I don't want to do anymore. Is any drugs, which I'm not going to be doing anymore, apart from caffeine and nicotine at the moment. But yeah, the caffeine's being controlled and the nicotine's being reduced. Um, I should have said right at the beginning. Really, I've started smoking marshmallow leaf. Now the marshmallow plant is used in a lot of homeopathic medicine, and it's herbal medicine. Basically, the roots of the marshmallow plant are used um, to aid repair mucous membranes in your body. Mucous membranes are like the membrane under your tongue, or the membrane behind your eyes, or your rectal walls are a mucous membrane. They're actually the thinnest membranes in your body and can tear very easy. So they're always being repaired because they tear so easy without you even knowing, you know. So yeah, I've been smoking marshmallow leaf, and it's not addictive. And what I'm finding out at the moment, it has nothing to do with any dopamine disruption. Um, I've been seeing some people report a slightly psychoactive um, properties about it, which I've not actually seen or felt, or it's just like a few percentage of people are reporting psychoactive properties. Um, but yeah, it's really, really cheap. For 50 grams of it, it's £3 off eBay. Um, you can buy it in pouches, and it's more refined, it's more ground down, and it hasn't got any stems or sticks in it. But I buy a £3 bag, and it's yeah, it's. I've been slowly whittling down my nicotine consumption and replacing it with um, marshmallow leaf, and I'll put a link for it in the description below. And it's really cheap, and yeah, it's helping me at the moment. It's helping me slowly wean myself off of nicotine, which I think is going to be quite an evil one to get rid of. But um, yeah, I'm doing that. You want to try it? It's got a slightly weird smell about it when I first smoke it with nicotine. It's got like a fishy smell initially, but that soon disappears. It doesn't taste, hardly taste at all, really. Um, and if you take it out of the bag and just say leave it on the side for a little while, it will smell a little bit like piss. So I keep it in the fridge. But when you're smoking it, you can't actually smell it. But as I say, the initial smell is a bit fishy, especially if somebody else is smoking it and you're not. You get this like fishy smell from it. But yeah, try it. It might work for you. It might not. But ironically, it looks like a big bag of weed, ground up weed. Um, so yeah, try it. It's £3, and it might help you out. Um, Better than vaping, I reckon, because you're still taking in nicotine, still administering that drug. So yeah, it's non-addictive. It's not addictive at all. So it doesn't like get your peptides running around wanting more. And as my dopamine's re-regulating itself, it's not going to disrupt that in any way. So yeah, it's a win-win really. So yeah, what I've found lately is, which I used to fear from not smoking dope, or before I was going to give up smoking dope, I used to fear that I won't be able to have a laugh again. I won't be able to enjoy life, or it's going to seem really mundane and boring. But yeah, it's a little bit boring, but I think life's a little bit boring anyway, and it's what you make of it. It's how you fill your life basically with what you want to do and make it not as boring. But yeah, it's sorry, I've got loads of thoughts running through my head. Um, yeah, what I found out is I don't need weed to laugh. Like whenever I meet up with my daughter and her fiance, like we've got quite a special relationship. I mean, me and my daughter have got a special relationship anyway, but her fiance, we've all got the same sense of humour, and we all laugh at the same things basically, and quite dark, quite different to other people's humour. But yeah, it's that's still alive, that's still there, which I'm really glad about. I thought that might disappear by giving up weed, that I won't be able to laugh as much, but I'm still having them belly laughs. The same things are still making us laugh, and I'm sure they always will do. So yeah, I'm really happy that that's still there really. I was really scared that that might fade away or not be as, my funny moments might not be as funny because we're not stoned, but they are just as funny. Um, so yeah, if you are scared about or fear that you're not going to be able to enjoy life, or you're not going to be able to have as much laughs in your life, I promise you, you will do. Uh, yeah, so I'm really happy about that. What else have I got to report? Yeah, marshmallow leaf. Yeah, it's full moon today, first full moon of the spring. The spring equinox was on March the 19th. So we're in spring now, and it's first full moon today. So that's good as well. Um, and yeah, so in general, I'm feeling quite good. What I was met with today was, I had this good news from my daughter, and what I never see coming was that moment of elation of like, oh, this is brilliant news, and like feeling really happy, and all them endorphins being released through happiness. And what I never see coming was, as soon as I got that news, the first thing I wanted to do was have a big joint, because that was my celebratory thing, was to have a joint. Oh wow, I'm going to have a big joint and celebrate the moment. And yeah, so as soon as I got that news, I was like really, really wanting a joint. Probably the most that I've wanted a joint over the past 5 to 7 days. Um, yeah, quite strange really, and it's still with me, and I think that's what's disrupting my head at the moment, because I've got them peptides running around going, you need a joint, you need a joint. I think the endorphins have worn off from the initial moment of happiness and elation, and the peptides are running around still going, well, what are you going to do about it then? Well, what I did do about it, and I was supposed to be a day off of caffeine today. It was supposed to be my first day of my block days of off caffeine. I was little bit naughty, and I treated myself to a cup of coffee. Yeah, really naughty that, isn't it? Fucking bad boy. But anyway, yeah, so that's what I rewarded myself today with, and didn't go and buy a bag of weed. So I had a coffee, and I thought I'd tell you about it. Otherwise, I'd feel really guilty that I've had one and not really told anyone. But yeah, so that's what's happening, and what I've noticed around me as well, going from the coffee thing, but going back to spring, is that the grape hyacinths are out. A lot of people mistake them for bluebells, but they're not. They're grape hyacinths, and but I also can see the bluebell shoots coming out, and I love the bluebells. Bluebells in Britain are just beautiful. Really, like, they make all the woodland, like they carpet the whole floor of all the woodland, and it just makes everything really dreamlike and really dreamy, and it's beautiful. Um, so yeah, I'm looking forward to them coming out. I've noticed that certain blossoms are out already on the trees, and that's also really dreamy. Like when all the trees are blossoming, it's yeah, it's beautiful, and it reminds me of my dreams a lot when I'm having good dreams. Um, so yeah, yeah, that's an update on what I'm doing, and I want to now go into carrying on my stories about um, my smoking dope in the army and my early years of smoking dope. And I think the last time I spoke to you, I was at the end of my tour in Canada. So we we flew back home, and that's when I met up with the rest of the battalion. Some people I haven't met before, because we was just training as a unit, as a mortar platoon, and didn't really have much outside work, outside contact with the rest of the battalion at that point. So I got to go back to the battalion and met up with a few of my friends that weren't in my company, weren't in my platoon, that got sent to like other companies in my battalion, and met up with them again, and started to meet other like senior members in their company, and established quite quickly that like quite a lot of us were all smoking dope and doing other stuff as well. All of us were drinking heavily, because that's what you do in the army. That's the nature of the beast. And if you don't become part of that beast, you don't become part of that family and join in. Um, Being in the army is like a really bad jail sentence. So you got to become that beast. You got to become part of it, and otherwise you don't fit in, and you never will. And there were people that didn't fit in, and they never did, and they didn't last long. So yeah, a lot of us were smoking dope. So we went back to the battalion, as I just said, and spent about 6 weeks in our barracks, like getting to know lot more of the soldiers, and a lot of them been in there a long time and that, and getting a feel of what these soldiers were about and that, and yeah, they were proper old soldiers, nothing like the soldiers that are around today. These are like proper rock hard fucking people that you didn't mess with. um, yeah, a few of them had done like tours where either with certain intelligence groups out in Northern Ireland, or a few of them had come back from serving with the Special Air Service, the SAS, and they'd gone out and done certain operations that, you know, that have taken life, and getting to know these people, and just being in that environment. A lot of psychopaths, but a lot of really clever people as well. Um, yeah, quite an eye opener that was, getting to know the people and the old soldiers and what tours they've done and what work they've been doing with other units across the world. Yeah, big eye opener. But anyway, so the next tour was out in America, and we went to we were going to go to Washington State in America, and we excuse me, um, we all vowed that we'd take some dope this time. So at that time, we was only buying hash, and we all took half ounce of Afghan blackout with us. So combined, we probably had about 4 to 5 ounces between us. And yeah, we went out there, and we stayed at a place called Fort Lewis, which is quite near Mount Rainier and Mount Adams. And yeah, so uh, we went out there and we was training with the American water teams, and that was quite an eye opener as well. Like what materials we had, that we had training back in England, and what materials they had, what facilities they had to train out there was just like, was an eye opener as well. Like yeah, a big eye opener. The amount of money that they get in their budgets to spend on what they train with was a big eye opener. But when we was out there, we got to train with them, as I say, and we was out in Yakima Desert, which is quite a big desert. I think the actual firing range in Yakima Desert is bigger than the country of Wales, which is like to the west side of England, makes up part of the British Isles. And during the day, it's like 35 degrees centigrade out there. But when it gets to night time and it gets really cold, like down to minus 15 degrees centigrade, you know, we used to wake up in the morning covered in snow and ice. That wouldn't last for long. It would soon heat up and it'd get really hot during the day again. Excuse me. And yeah, that was quite an eye opener as well, like being in the desert. But out in America, there's finding cigarette papers was really hard at that time. They were quite non-existent, so we all went out there, and you know, once we got a moment to ourselves out in the desert, or it's night time and people are in their sleeping bags going to sleep and that, we'd roll joints and have a joint before we went to sleep. But we didn't have any cigarette papers, as I said. So what we used to use was in the old 24-hour ration packs that the British Army used to get, which were like packed up in the late 60s. The toilet roll that we used to get was like real thick tracing paper. I don't know if you're familiar with it, but it's like real coarse. It's like waxed rice paper in a way. It's got that texture to it, but heavily waxed. Couldn't really wipe your ass with it. It wasn't. It didn't really cut it really, but we were making joints out of tobacco, hash, and what we were doing is rolling it up in this toilet paper and using sugar and water to like glue it together, basically, and sticking a roach in it, and all sort of laying in our sleeping bags, smoking these big doobies made out of toilet paper. But they smoked, and it smoked fine. A bit harsh, but we got stoned and like looking at the stars, and yeah, that was quite an eye opener as well. Just laying in the sleeping bag in the middle of the desert. I mean, the desert's quite an amazing place anyway. No light pollution at all. And, like, you can see like all the stars. Just mesmerising. Get to see some things flying around the sky as well that weren't satellites and weren't stars, or weren't meteorites. But yeah, got to see quite a bit of that. Quite a few of us did. But anyway, Yakima Desert. We got to go again, adventure training, and what I chose to do, and what a few of us chose to do at the time, was go skiing. So we got a chance to go skiing up Mount Rainier. We was going to go to Mount Adams, but Mount Adams, they don't like a lot of you've got to ask permission to go up Mount Adams, and we actually got to go to Mount Adams, but we didn't have permission to go up it. But Mount Adams, I think, is the second highest peak out there, and that's quite. There's some energies over there. There's some amazing energies over there that I didn't feel anywhere else in America. Yeah, quite a special place. Big volcano, but we weren't allowed to go up it. So a few of our lot did on another day. But anyway, we went skiing. I'd never skied in my life, never put a pair of skis on, but always wanted to go skiing. So we got to the bottom of Mount Rainier, got to the ski resort. We had a big fat joint. We found some cigarette papers by then. We had a big fat joint and then went skiing. And so we had a big fat joint and then went and put skis on and then sort of made our way over to the ski lift, and my ski come off. So all my friends have gone up there. A couple of people have like trying out snowboarding at the time because that was starting to come in, snowboarding, and I was going to try that because I was quite a good skateboarder at a young age. I started skateboarding at the age of 4, so I knew how to work a board, and but I chose to go skiing, and so yeah, we're going to the ski lift, and my ski comes off, and all my friends have got on the ski lift, and I'm trying to get my ski back on. Got my ski back on, got on the ski lift on myself, got all the way up to the top of Mount Rainier, and looking around, couldn't see any of my friends. So I was like, right, okay. So got off the ski lift, sort of like walking around like, you know, a novice. See black slope, see red slope, and see blue slope over in the distance. I thought, well, black slope's the nearest, so I went straight for the black slope. And black slopes, I don't know if you're familiar with skiing, but black slopes are for professional skiers, and people that have, you know what they're doing, and know how to negotiate a black slope. And basically a black slope is like it's basically falling off a mountain but staying upright. I didn't know what a black slope was, and I went straight off the ski lift, chose a black slope, and went straight down the fucker. And I was just like, I must have been easily doing 60 miles an hour. I like my mouth, the wind was going in my mouth. Didn't have any mask on. The wind was going in my mouth, and there was that much wind. It was blowing my cheeks out. So I must have been doing at least 60, flying down this black slope, and the best rush I've ever had in my life. The best rush. There's nothing that's ever come close to it. I don't know even if like parachuting would ever come close to it. But yeah, that was amazing, and I made it all the way to the bottom, and I didn't know how to stop. And I'm like getting closer and closer to like the ski resort and the bar and all that where we were drinking. I was like, what do I do? I'm not going to crash into the fucking building. So I just threw myself on the floor and just fucking, yeah, ended up in a big mess. And it just laid there, and I was just like, I was buzzing my tits off from that. I was buzzing, like buzzing, like fucking hell. Went straight up, and I went straight for the ski lift again, and managed to catch up with some of my friends, and they'd gone down like the red slope, which I think is a nursery slope, and then the blue slope, which is like an intermediate. And they were like, where have you been? And I was like, I went down the black slope. And they were like, fuck you, mate. So you got to do it. It's black slopes, fucking, that's where it's at, man. I tried a red slope, which was beautiful. There's like, as I say, it's a nursery slope, so a lot of people are just taking their time, and it was beautiful because it was like you could like ski in and out of trees, and that was beautiful in itself. But the black slope's where it's at, man. Yeah, just balls out, just go down it, get down in black slopes, man. If you've never skied in your life, yeah, and you're on your own, go down a black slope. Anyway, so we did our adventure training, and then after that we got to go on. We had a bit of rest and recuperation, which is like we had a week to ourselves, and so we got to go right into the centre of Washington State, and Washington City, I think, you know, the actual capital city of Washington, and I think that's where it is. Anyway, we went there, and we were in a hotel, and we're like, right, we'd run out of dope at this point, We're like, right, let's try and go and get some dope. So we're like asking about with certain people, and they didn't really want to help us. And then we found this gang of people outside the 7-Eleven that we noticed that were there all day, every day. So we sort of like put two and two together and thought, well, perhaps they're hustling drugs or whatever. And we went up to them and was like, hey man, can you get us any weed or any dope? And they were like, yeah, we can get you some dope. So it was like, right, okay. So 5 of us chipped in. We chipped in $200 each. So there was $1,000. I don't know how much that is in today's money, but we were like, can you get us some weed? And they were like, yeah, sure. And I was like, well, can you go and get it then and we'll pay you? And they were like, no, we're going to take your money first. And I was like, well, you're just going to fucking rob us. And they were like, no, we're not. And like this bloke pulled out a great big wad of cash. He just could hardly fit in his hand. He said, I don't need your fucking money, man. He said, I'll go and get you some weed. They thought we was all from Australia. Quite a lot of Americans thought we were all from Australia, which we're not. But anyway, so we thought, fuck it. So we gave them $1,000, and we waited around. About 20 minutes later, this bloke come back and pulled out this bag of weed and put it on his telephone, in this little telephone kiosk. And there must have been probably a kilo of weed in this bag. It was fucking huge. Probably use it as a pillow. And put it on the side. And we were like, nice one, brilliant, amazing. We didn't get robbed, amazing. Just as I went to pick it up, this little short ass fucker come up and took it, who's with the gang. I said, that's fucking mine. And then pulled out this fucking pistol and just walked away with it, stuck it in his jacket and just walked away, just walking backwards with his pistol fucking pointed at us. I was like, you fuck. So, all right, we got fucking robbed. And the blokes who said they wouldn't rob us didn't rob us, but their friends fucking did. So we ended up getting robbed. Anyway, so we went, we just, marked it up as like, okay, fair enough. So we just carried on drinking Jack Daniels for the next day or two, and then we found this place. It was outside of Taco Bell, and we went to this Taco Bell, and we saw this bloke who was sat in the front of a car, who had his front door open, and he was sitting there piping on some weed. And we was like, should we go and ask him if he can sort us out some weed? And he was like, can you sort us out some weed, mate? It's like, yeah, sure. So we sat there, and we're having little pipes with him, and we're sat there, and like the back doors, we sat in the back door. My mate was sat in the front, and my other mate was sat in the back. And the back doors were open, and we're sitting there, music playing, and then straight up this bloke come around and just stuck a fucking Chrome 45 into my head. What the fuck are you doing in my car? I was like, we're just fucking smoking, man. Who the fuck are you? What are you doing in my fucking car? Cocked his fucking gun and stuck it in my head. I thought, we're all fucking dead now. And like his mate was in the front, like just like quite plastered on this weed that he'd been smoking. It's called KGB, Killer Green Bud. Fucking, I shit myself. I didn't piss myself or shit myself, but I thought we were all dead. Yeah, really scary moment. And it was like, my mate in the front was like shaking the driver, who's American, like, look, your mate's just about to fucking shoot us all. Can you sort it out? And he managed to calm him down. And yeah, that was like, as soon as he calmed down, we just got out and was like, look, sorry, we'll see you later. Incidentally, we didn't end up getting any more smoke that time. But we managed to have a couple of pipes in peace and managed to enjoy it before I got a gun pulled on me. So yeah, I think 3 times altogether we had a gun pulled on us out in America, and it's quite a shocking experience, quite scary, especially when they're proper angry, not like just giving it big ego, but actually proper fucking angry, and especially when you got a cocked weapon in your fucking head and the hammer's back ready to go. That's a fucking scary moment. I'll never forget that. I don't think any of us will. But yeah, so yeah, that was it really. That was our dope smoking in America. Yeah, quite an eye opener that was. And then yeah, we went back to Britain after that, and our next tour was was the Falkland Islands after that, which was a few months after. But I will go into that again probably tomorrow, because I'm going to go home now and cook a chili. I'm actually quite hungry and I really want a chili, so I'm going to go and cook a nice chili, and I might actually slow cook it as it goes, stick it in the slow cooker for 4 hours. So yeah, nice talking to you today, and I'll carry on with my stories tomorrow most probably. It's actually starting to rain now, so it's a good time to close down. And yeah, so thank you for watching, and as always, tread lightly and breathe deeply, and I shall see you all tomorrow. Yeah, my Discord is in the link below. I got reminded today by somebody that I've got to put my Discord links in the video, in the comments section, which I will do today. So yeah, that the Discord community is quite active at the moment. You know, quite a few people are sharing, which is like very inspiring as well. I think for all of us. So yeah, brilliant. Day 13 nearly over. Tomorrow's day 14. That's 2 weeks. So if you're with me, guys, and you're on day 13, or if you're further down the line and you're still with me, or if you're on day 1, I'll be here tomorrow, and I hope you will be as well. So yeah, thank you for watching. All right, I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.